One thing that all the parents I talk to have in common when it comes to talking about sex topics with their kids is they all know that they need to do it, but are slightly afraid that they might confuse them, or they think that talking about sex is going to encourage their kids to go and have sex. I'm constantly reassuring parents that by talking about sex and sexuality with their kids, it does not encourage earlier sexual activity amongst youth, but actually teaches kids that sex has consequences. And by discussing it in a factual and honest way, it may encourage them to delay their initiation into sex. I'm Kathleen, and I make YouTube videos for parents on how to talk about sex and answer sex questions that their child may have. Lately, the questions I've been receiving from parents have been around sexual orientations, and parents are worried that by talking about the wide variety of sexual orientations and different types of attraction with their young child, they may be pushing their child to be gay, lesbian, bisexual, asexual, pansexual, or demisexual. Parents, let me alleviate your worries here. You are not going to teach your child to be heterosexual, bisexual, or gay. What you are doing is giving them the honest, medically accurate, and factual information in education and understanding, and being able to express themselves in identifying their sexual orientation, as well as being aware of the people that they will meet throughout their life. During the primary and intermediate age, most children will tend to assume that the relationship they see their parents have as the norm. So if possible, it's great to expose them to different people and couples and explain sexual orientation. For example, if I was explaining to my child that mommy and I are in a lesbian relationship and that I love and care about my partner, and because she's a woman, it is called a lesbian or monosexual relationship. But there are also some people like Auntie Claire who loves and cares about her partner who is a man, and that relationship would be called a heterosexual or straight relationship. By explaining sexual orientations within the context of people that they know and care about, it can be easier for them to understand and grasp. When I did just this with my 5-year-old and explained gay, lesbian, and heterosexual relationships, she was like, okay. And that was it. It was less than a 30-second conversation. If you need, you can utilize books that show different family and relationship combinations to help further explain it. Now you can explain bisexuality and pansexuality to your intermediate age child. You can say something to the effect of, remember when I explained what gay, lesbian, and heterosexual meant, and that some people are attracted to males or females, men or women? Well, there are some people who identify as bisexual, and that means that they are attracted to both males and females, men and women, not just males or men or females or women. And because we know that gender is on a spectrum and that some people are fluid in their gender and some identify as being non-binary, a person who is attracted to any other person, no matter their gender or sex, may identify as being pansexual. Explaining bisexuality and pansexuality can be this simple if you've been having conversations about the gender spectrum and sexual orientations with your primary age child. Because now at the intermediate age, you're just adding on another layer of information to those earlier conversations. Asexual, a person does not experience attraction towards any other person. In explaining asexuality to your child, you can say something to the effect of, there are some people that aren't attracted or feel the desire to be in a sexual relationship with other people, and this is called being asexual. It's okay to be attracted to other people, and it's also okay to not be attracted to other people. It's good to know that not everybody experiences this feeling to be with other people. Around the time of puberty, children's ability to understand sexual and romantic attraction occurs. So in the middle and high school years, you can expand upon those explanations of sexual orientation and explain the nuance between the different types of attraction. A child around the age of 10, 11, or 12 may be feeling sexual or romantic attraction, or not. Explaining sexual, romantic, and even emotional attraction to a middle school age child can be done. Check out this video where I explain 12 different sexual and romantic attractions, and you can use that as a guide to explain it to your child. Remember, parents, that the vast majority of people have been attracted to one another since forever. And these terms and labels may be new to you and me, but the concepts and ideas behind the labels are far from new. Teaching your child about these varieties of sexual orientations, as well as explaining the differences between sexual and romantic attraction, can help to give your child the words to express themselves, not only to you, but to the people around them, their friends and peers. At the middle school age and definitely at the high school age, just giving your child definitions of sexual orientations and attractions isn't enough. You need to layer in information about how this applies to relationships and dating, because that is the focus of their interactions with their peers. So for example, our kids are watching TV shows and movies that depict relationships and mostly sexual relationships. In the current pop culture, everything seems to be geared towards sexual relationships and sexual attraction, and that may be all that our kids are being exposed to. So to put this into perspective, if you're a millennial parent like me, you probably know of the show Friends. And in the show Friends, when I think back to it, I think, well, Rachel had sex a lot. And actually all the friends seem to have sex a lot. And watching that show, one would start to think that, hey, dating equals sex, and that if you're going on dates, you're probably going to end up having sex. But as parents, if we explain to our kids that there are different types of attraction, and as you grow up, you may be attracted to someone sexually or romantically or emotionally, and not all relationships end up engaging in sex. And by explaining this, we can help them to understand what the reality of relationships look like, not just what they may think relationships are due to the movies and TV shows that they watch. After explaining these sexual orientations to your child, you can include your family values, your religious or cultural beliefs. An example of what this may look like: in our family, we want you to feel comfortable expressing your sexual orientation. And as we've discussed, there are different types of attraction and orientations. And as you go through puberty, you may feel more strongly towards one orientation. There are some religions and cultures that have acknowledged and embraced the variety of sexual orientations that there are, and there are some religions and cultures that have shunned and shamed people of certain sexual orientations. In our family, we believe X, Y, and Z, and include your family values here. If you're on social media, follow me on your favorite social media platform. I'm there during the week providing parenting tips, education, and information. And if you found this video to be helpful, go on and give it a like. I'll be back next week with another video.